talk a little bit about your personal connection with Alzheimer's and what brought you to this field?
Well, my own story is that, way back, I was involved with the first time a disease gene was found. So I was on the team, and I was 21 at the time, and my mentor was only 25. We were kids, and we were the first ones to find a disease gene ever. We found the Huntington's disease gene. Huntington's is a movement disorder where you can't control your involuntary movements. And that opened up the door. I mean, because no one had done it before, and that started the whole impetus for the Human Genome Project. And then I wanted to build the first full map of a chromosome, end to end. And I was a student, and so I wanted to get done quickly, of course. So I picked the smallest chromosome, to get done. And that chromosome was chromosome number 21, and that's the one that's in 3 copies in Down syndrome. So you're supposed to have 2 copies of each chromosome. Down syndrome subjects have 3 copies. And when I learned that in Down syndrome, you go on to get Alzheimer's disease pathology by middle age, I hypothesized, I speculated there'd be an Alzheimer's gene on that chromosome. And at that time, no Alzheimer's gene had been found yet. So I used my map, and I went after the gene, and it worked out. And in the summer of '86, I found the first Alzheimer's gene using my map. While I was doing the project, halfway through, my grandmother was diagnosed with Alzheimer's disease. So she didn't have it originally. Well, she had it, we didn't know. But while I got going on Alzheimer's disease, suddenly I was seeing the disease firsthand in my family with my father's mother, my grandmother. And I got to see how terrible this disease is. But, the reason why I got into it was just through scientific, connecting the dots, but then experienced it one-on-one. And then we started collecting these families who had this devastating form of Alzheimer's, early onset, under 50 years old. So I'd be meeting with someone who's 30 years old, and she knew she had the gene, and she knew she was going to have Alzheimer's, full-blown Alzheimer's, by 45 years old, and having to deal with these people all the time because I was collecting families and using these families to find the next Alzheimer's gene. So that was another real wake-up call to understand how terrible this disease is, and that emotional impact does drive you. But as a scientist, you have to stay really kind of cool, objective. Think about like a martial arts fighter, right? If they get angry and emotional and they forget their preparation and how to stay methodical, they'll lose. So it's weird being a scientist, because on one side there is the emotional side that's just driving you, but when you're doing science, you have to stay coldly objective and methodical to get the job done. I think of it a lot like a good martial arts fighter.